got the idea from Professor Ernst Ulrich from Weizsäcker and Professor Schmidt-Blake with the factor 5 or factor 10 principles. And that was very important for us as a guideline, as a vision for us to follow as an industry. With the bluesign standard, we try to cover all aspects in the supply chain. Not only testing a final fabric, because this is not the truth. We try to cover also air emission, for example, water emission. A lot of aspects, they are related to consumer safety. So our restricted substance list covers 878 substances. And of course, it's also important to talk about resource productivity. So our idea is to reduce the ecological footprint with an intelligent production with as less as possible resource use to produce a final fabric. The principle number 1 is resource productivity. We are interested to have an eco-efficient product, that means a high effect with a low impact to the nature. Then we have wastewater. It's very important because our industry has a huge impact to the water because of the use of chemistry. Then we have air emission, also important because a lot of the processes are using chemicals, they have an emission and we have to deal with that emission. Then the workplace, principle number 4, we want to protect the workers. They have to deal with chemistry we need for the performance or the fastest level, for example. And at least the consumer itself. We have strict limits for chemical use and for the chemicals in the final fabric, that we can meet all the consumer legislation at the end of the day when we have the final product. I will start with the benefits from the manufacturer. We help them to implement the bluesign system, and in more than 95% in the cases we can reduce the resource consumption dramatically, and we have a payback less than 3 months. Then we can help the brands to fulfill the restricted substance list and different legislation like REACH in Europe. And at the end of the day, the consumer has a more sustainable product that is safe for the consumer, and we can fulfill all the requirement a brand is asking for. Our vision with the bluesign standard is that we can reduce the impact to the environment and the use of resources dramatically. So that we have at the end of the day a product that has a higher resource productivity, so that we can reduce the impact on one side, and on the other side that we can optimize the use, that means a long lifetime of the product. On the other hand, we try to take out all the critical substances in the supply chain so that we have a safer product for the consumer at the end.